had this amazing opportunity yesterday to talk to a woman who was a new guest here. She walked in and she was hesitant, and you could just tell that she was uneasy about being here. I got the privilege of showing her just kind of how everything works. As we started walking down the first aisle, she kind of looked at me in amazement. She's like, "This place is amazing and you guys are so nice." And I was like, "Oh good, I'm glad, we're really happy that you're here." And I started showing her the different amounts that she could get for her family, and she looked at me and she goes, "Are you kidding? I can get that much?" And I said, "Yeah, of course, you can take that much." And she just started crying. And instantly I knew that there was a story there. There was something that she brought in, that she was carrying this weight with her. And so I just kind of created some space for her to talk. I won't share all of her details because those are hers to share, but she'd been walking through a really hard season, and they were basically down to the point where they had no food left in the house. And she was going to get her kiddos, going to come and visit her that weekend, and she was worried about whether or not she was going to have food for them. So her and her husband had actually talked about pawning their wedding rings, just in hopes that they might have enough food for the weekend while her kids were staying with her. She had just gotten a new job. She wasn't sure how they were going to make it to her first paycheck. And so they decided, instead of pawning the wedding rings, maybe they'd check out the giving plate and see what we had to offer. And she said it took every ounce of pride for her to walk through that front door. But I was excited to share with her my own story of being a guest here at one point in time in my life, and how the giving plate was there to see me and to uplift me. And we talked about all of the lies that bounce around in our head when we're asking for help. Lies like, "You're broken," "You should try harder," "You don't deserve this," or the shame that's associated with it. And I think the biggest lie of all is that we're alone and that we have to figure it out. And so we just talked about how this place is a place of community, that the giving plate is totally community funded. We don't receive government funding. So this is all about our community coming together and loving on each other well. It's not about one individual person. It's about how we all get to come together. We also found out that somebody in her family was about to have a birthday. And so we were able to hook her up with a birthday kit that has everything in it for her to make a cake. And she was just so excited because she thought they weren't going to get to celebrate at all. And so I let her shop for a little while. And then I kind of checked back in with her. She looked down at her cart and she said, "We haven't had this much food in our house in a really long time." She said, "I feel like I have been drowning for so long, and this is my first breath of fresh air." I got to hug her and encourage her, and she told me that she's coming back with her kids and that we were just going to be a part of her new community here in Bend. Her story is just one of many of our why we're here, why we do this.